organized by Universal AI University and Maharashtra Common Teacher Association in collaboration with Internal Quality Association Cell and Shodh Samiti of Achievers College of Commerce and Management. It's my honor to have with us today Dean of Research and Doctoral Program at Universal AI University, Dr. Asha Bhatia, Journal Secretary of Maharashtra Common Teachers Association, Dr. G.Y. Sitole, sir, Founder, Principal, Dr. C.A. Mahesh Bhivandikar, sir, and our Vice Principals, Ms. Sana Khan, Madam, and Ms. Sophia D'Souza, Madam. A special and warm welcome to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Deepak Sable, Professor and Principal at Bharat College of Arts and Commerce, and all the distinguished faculty members joining us virtually today. At the very outset, I extend my gratitude to all the partnering institutions for your collaboration has been instrumental in making this national level FDP program a success. Before we move ahead with today's session on research methodology and data collection, let me provide a quick recap of the previous session. On day 1 of FDP, Dr. Shraddha Bhome ma'am, Principal of Tilak Education Society, delivered an insightful session on identifying research problems and research gaps. She emphasized the significance of well-crafted research titles and outlined the key characteristics of an effective title. She also highlighted the role of literature review in shaping research problem and demonstrate how various AI tools can aid the reviewing literature and identifying gaps. Yesterday on day 2, Dr. Kuldeep Sharma, sir, Assistant Professor at KPJ Hinduja College of Commerce, delivered an insightful session on objectives and hypotheses, where he made understood that the objectives and hypotheses are crucial elements in research as they provide clear directions and focus. The objective outlined the purpose of the study, guiding what the researcher aims to discover and achieve. It also helps in defining the scope and structuring the research process. This faculty development programs offers a vital role for the faculty to strengthen research skills, identifying research gaps, design research studies, and gain hands-on training in data analysis, research writing, and funding opportunities. To give us a better understanding of this FDP, I invite our esteemed Vice Principal and IQAC Coordinator, Assistant Professor Ms. Sana Khan, Madam.
Thank you, Apeksha ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a delight to welcome you all once again to day 3 of this faculty development program that we are organizing and conducting in collaboration with Universal AI University and Maharashtra Commerce Teachers Association. We've had 2 insightful days exploring how to frame research problems, set objectives, and formulate hypotheses. Today, we are moving into the heart of the research process, that is selecting the right methodology and collecting data. And for this, we have a very esteemed speaker with us, Professor Principal Dr. Deepak Sable, sir. And he will guide us on how to select the right methodology and collect data. Today's session will help us understand how to design our research design and data collection tools, ensuring our work stands as a strong foundation. Let's make the most of this session and continue our journey as good researchers, good learners, and let us keep on being expressive. Let us keep the session engaging so that we learn a lot, so that we make the most of it. Hoping the best and having a great learning experience to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam.
I think Principal Sir is traveling, so he may join at the end of the session. Please continue with the rest of the schedule.
Okay, ma'am. Now, moving forward, I would like to formally introduce today's resource person, Dr. Deepak Sable, sir. Sir is the principal of Bharat College of Arts and Commerce, and he has completed 26 years in field of education. Sir has honored as HOD of Economics from last 18 years. Sir has contributed in various social engagements such as Samarth Foundation, Thane Educational Foundation, Lawyer Welfare Foundation, and many more. Apart from this, Sir has published various news articles in newspapers and also been awarded for designing 2 patents. Sir has many research scholars and which are been guided under Sir's supervision. Also, Sir has been awarded by various excellence awards. Really, Sir has achieved a lot in his professional career. Now, I would like to welcome our esteemed resource person, Dr. Deepak Sable, sir. Sir, please guide our participants to our
Sneha, madam, please mute yourself.
Dr. Deepak Sable, sir.
Thank you, madam. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to everyone. First, let me thank the management of Achievers College, principal, my close friend, doctor, and who is also CA, Shri Mahesh Bhivandikar sir, the executive president of Maharashtra Commerce Teachers Association, Dr. Shivare sir, Dr. Asha Bhatia madam from AI Mazing University, and the Professor, Assistant Professor Sana Khan, convener and IQAC coordinator, Miss Monica Virvani, co-convener of this workshop or FDP. I thanks all the organizer, office bearer of the organizing committee. Thank you once again. Let me start with the important aspect that is called as nothing but research methodology and data collection.
Before you start, thank you so much on behalf of it's the Universal AI University, sir. It's not, of course, it's an amazing university.
Amazing, huh?
But yes, the name is Universal AI University.
Universal, it is a universal university. Universal AI Amazing University. Amazing.
No. So
Sorry for
amazing
my
is an
pronunciation
adjective
if
for
I
us.
pronounce wrong.
So that's very kind of you to call us amazing. But the name is Universal AI.
Thank you.
It's based on artificial intelligence, sir.
Wow.
Yes.
I would be happy to collaborate with you as well.
Most welcome, sir. Most welcome.
Thank you.
We'll be happy to have you on campus.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please proceed.
Ours is a very small college, madam.
Your work is big, sir.
Thank you. My PPT is visible to everyone? This PPT is visible. Must be visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Topic is very simple and very clear. That is called as nothing but research methodology and the data collection. Therefore, there are two main aspects of today's lecture: research methodology and data collection. Okay. So my flow of presentation would be very simple, though there are two aspects of the presentation, but try to cover some points in these two aspects. One is the meaning of research methodology, type of research methodology, process, what steps are required, what steps are here considered. That is called as a process of research methodology. And factors which are to be considered while selecting your research methodology. See, research methodology differs from research to research. It may be research paper, it may be your thesis, it may be your research project. Okay. So that differs, and because of that, factor changes, process also changes. More or less 90-95% process is the same. Then second part of this today's presentation is about the data. So what is the meaning of data collection? Data collection methods, what methods are being utilized, and these methods are universally acceptable. Research methodology universally acceptable. Those we are going to discuss. Then what data collection process is involved while collecting the data. And most important, that point which is very near and dear to us, maximum must be from the PhD scholars. And they feel that, sir, what should be the size of collection of data? So we try to answer this question as well. And we know while collecting data, certain challenges, issues, problems we face. And last is nothing but conclusion of this. See, everything, let me first accept everything is borrowed from the various websites. Okay, it is freely available. Okay, so this is not a new thing to me and to everyone. We have books, we have websites, we have YouTube channels and whatnot. So therefore, I myself feel that I should be very honest. Whatever I am presenting, it is not my own. It is just borrowing from various websites and putting in front of you. Okay. Therefore, there is no any kind of intellectual. Let me be very clear to everyone. Okay. Let us start with this. Okay. The first meaning of it. What is the mean by the research methodology? If you read this, research methodology describes the techniques and procedures used to identify and analyze information regarding a specific research topic. These are certain, you can call it as a definition, meaning of it. So here in second paragraph, I mentioned it's very simple. Research methodology refers to systematic approach and procedure a researcher uses to design a study, collect and analyze data, draw conclusions. In short, research methodology is structured scientific approach used to collect, analyze, and interpret quantitative, qualitative data to answer research questions or test the hypothesis. In short, research methodology is like a plan for carrying out research and helps to keep researchers on track by limiting the scope of the research. If you go through all those more or less definitions and meaning, research, first let me know, we should know the research is a continuous. Okay, so therefore, methodology to be utilized that differs from, as I told you, from researcher to researcher, from that research aspect, whether it is a research paper, whether it is a research project, whether it is nothing but your thesis. So therefore, it changes accordingly. In short, more or less, research is nothing but what methodology is a procedure, is a technique, which is systematically mentioned internationally. What should be the your title? How we can select the title? How we can select the title from the various issues, the problems which are in the current, either economy or society or in political aspect, that we select topic from it. So therefore, first you will have to select the topic. Okay. So steps are already fixed. The first is the topic. Second one is nothing but your methodology, then your data collection, then your objectives, hypotheses, then findings, okay, then limitations, okay, conclusion, and your nothing but policy suggestions or nothing but we can guess suggestion for the government to prepare the policy. Hence, it is a systematic. That's why it is mentioned as a systematic approach. And therefore, what is the procedure which is mentioned and which is a universal, which is internationally acceptable, is nothing but procedure which we will have to follow. If you follow apart from that, it is not acceptable. And hence, systematic approach and procedure is called as nothing but research methodology. Okay, what steps are involved in it? We will look at one by one. It also involves your analysis. When you collect data, that data interpretation must be there. The data must be of the qualitative or qualitative. quantitative or qualitative. And accordingly, we prepare our hypothesis as well. So therefore, in short, research methodology, that is nothing but is a systematic approach and is a procedure. Okay. Now here, when we talk about research methodology, is nothing but there are different types of research methodology. There are n number of types of research methodology. If you look at I just want to highlight the three, but there are 7 or 8 types of research methodology. First is a quantitative research methods or methodology that focuses on the measuring and testing numerical data. Okay, quantitative, it means everything in the number. Okay, data which is collected, which is a quantitative, year wise, okay, maybe of your profile. For example, population profile, population and sample, both are different. When we talk about population, means the area of research under which you are going to conduct your research. For example, if you select a topic, say, unemployment in the Thane district. So unemployment in the Thane district means your population would be a Thane district population, I'm saying. But you are one person, you cannot contact everyone. So there is a limitation of the collection of data. So therefore you select some samples. So samples may be from different areas of Thane district. So therefore that collection is a quantity wise. Okay, their age, okay, their educational qualification, their income, their caste, or their religion, or educational means when you are going to look at the problem of unemployment, whether it is a 10th pass, 12th pass, TY, or graduation, or post-graduation, whether they are in the teaching field or not, etc., etc. Everything should be quantitative. And therefore, it is called as a quantitative research methodology. That focuses on only your numerical data, which is to be tested. And therefore, many a time it is said this approach is very good for the research, large number of, if we have a sample size. Okay. Second point is called as a method or type is nothing but qualitative. Now, apart from quantity, which is just in explanation, okay, opinion, behavior, experience, is called as a qualitative research methodology. It collects and analyzes words and textual data. So data is what? Textual. It is in the word form. It is not in the quantity. Therefore, it is called as a quantitative research methodology. And third important is called nothing but mixed method. Means which is used quantitative as well as a qualitative. Both aspects are being utilized in this research methodology, that is a mixed method. These are internationally accepted and used by many researchers. Apart from this, there are, we can say, subgroups. But these are part and parcel of these three. Okay. For example, here we mentioned descriptive research, experimental research, correlational, cross-sectional, and actional research. These are nothing but part and parcel of these three: quantitative, qualitative, and mixed method. So therefore, many people, they can say, my research is a descriptive research. Means just nothing but about the description. That is nothing but, it is the first phase of the research, preliminary. Okay. Whereas the population of phenomena is being studied. It does not answer questions about the how, when, why. So therefore, it is a description. Just we write a kind of, say, paragraph or essay type. That's why it is a descriptive research. Second, in which we mentioned here, experimental research. That talks about cause and effect relationship. Cause and effect relationship. Who depends on what? Okay. We should know the independent variable and dependent variable. That is the important point. But for which we require data. For dependent and independent variable, we require the quantity, therefore data. Hence, it is the experiment, though it is the part and parcel of the above three. Similarly, correlational research. Correlation, which correlates whom? Okay, which depends on whom? What is the effect on whom? Okay, that we discuss, that we study in this correlational research. So therefore, here this is the third important aspect apart from this those three which we mentioned. Then we mention here the cross-sectional research. Cross-sectional research studies a particular phenomena or element at a single point in time. This is a snapshot, provides the insight into the variables at the specific point. Cross-sectional research is widely utilized in economics, mainly economics. It is used because it is a cross-sectional depending on various, we can say correlated, dependent and independent variables. On the other hand, we have action research that direct your change, which is prepared. The research project is prepared, research say paper is prepared on the basis of that, whether direction, okay, action, which is involved, and therefore it is called as a action research. These are subgroups, but main groups are only types are quantitative research, qualitative research, and method research only. Now, what process is involved in the research methodology? We are just talking about the process. While selecting the methodology, whether your research is a quantitative or qualitative or mixed, you will have to decide, you will have to go through the process of this research methodology. This is the process, simple. First, first process is very much important. That is, you will have to find out the research problem. Identifying and defining the problem. Okay, first step in any research is to clearly define the issue or problem that needs to be investigated. This involves understanding the nature of problem and its implication. Now here I just want to ask you very simple, though maximum are the research scholars, if I'm not wrong, can you give me one by one, what is your research problem? What problem you are going to investigate? Have you decided your research problem? Let us have this interactive session rather than only one side. Okay. Can you give me your research problem? Topic name, research topic. Yes, participants. Am I audible to anyone? Everyone? If I am audible, please
Yes.
speak out.
Yes, yes.
Don't type.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Tell me your research problem so that we can easily find out whether this research problem is covering our research area or not. Yes, please tell me. Or I would give some, say, research problem which are being studied by my research scholar. Yes, please. Nobody? Okay. So my 4 students who have been awarded PhD in the subject of business economics. The first research project or thesis which was submitted, which was related to nothing but here Bhiwandi's textile mills. Okay, textile mill. The problem and their prospects and the issues they are facing. So it is related to textile industries. Whereas the second point was, our second thesis was based on nothing but uh, uh, fintech in the all public sector undertaking banks. Fintech means financial technology, which is used in the banking sector. Okay. Third topic was related to financial literacy among the auto rickshaw driver in the Chembur area. Okay. You have to find out the research problem. You have to find out. It is your own research. So therefore, you will have to identify and define it. What is your research problem? What research problem you are going to investigate? Okay, so this involves understanding the nature of problem and its implication. And after selecting this research problem, you should start searching the literature published directly as well as indirectly, which is related to your topic. For example, my research scholar who is studying about the, say, street vendors. There are n number of street vendors all over the world. Okay, but their nature would be different. In India, it would be different. In US, it would be different. In Canada, it would be different. So therefore, whatever literature reviews or papers or books or articles or nothing but government reports are available, that will have to be first gathered, first to be stored in your, say, as a pen drive. Okay. So conducting that literature review thoroughly is very much important, which nothing but create your background of your research problem. And you will come to know my research problem is appropriate right now or not, or should I modify my research problem, should I revise it. Once you read all those literature, you will easily come to know. And once you understood your research problem, from the based on the basis of your literature review, you can easily design the methodology of study. Okay, this involves choosing the research design, selecting the research methodology, and determining the sample size and data collection techniques. Now here determination of sample size based on your population, whether it is a taluka, whether it is a district, whether it is a state, whether it is a nation, whether it is a city, that depends on the, you will have to select your sample. Okay. Then data collection starts. Once you decided that research problem, literature review, you know very well, then designing your research study and data collection also start. Data collection is nothing but involving that gathering all necessary information. See, as I told you, data may be of both types, quantitative and qualitative. Data will be of two types, quantitative and qualitative. Now we have universal accepted data collection is a primary and secondary. Okay, that we are going to see. So data collection is important, is another point after just identifying and designing your research problem and review and designing the study. Then next step which is involved, that is the data analysis. After collecting data, it is analyzed to draw meaningful insights and patterns. Depending on the nature of the data and research objective, this can involve statistical analysis, theme-wise analysis, and other methods. Now, data analysis involves proper care should be taken while analyzing the data. Now, when you collect data, you have to take care. What is your objective? The questionnaire should be prepared according. Okay. If questionnaire is different and your objective is different, you are not going to satisfy your objective of research. When your objective is not satisfied, your hypothesis will be totally go wrong. And when your objectives and hypotheses both not satisfied, naturally your findings and conclusion will go wrong. Simple. So my simple suggestion is you should have objectives link with the hypothesis, link with your findings and link with the nothing but suggestions. Simple. Then interpreting the result. Once analyzed, the data is interpreted in the context of the research questions and the hypothesis posed. This stage helps in understanding the implication of the finding. Many times what happens, the people write anything in the hypothesis. The simple rule of hypothesis is very clear. Number one, hypothesis should be null hypothesis. Null means what? It should be a negative. And null hypothesis is always prepared to reject it. To reject it. And for that, we have an alternate hypothesis. And always, many a time, alternate hypothesis is accepted. Many a time. Do you know what wording is utilized when we accept hypothesis or reject hypothesis? Do you have any idea? Yes, please. Yes. What word sentence we use? We don't say directly the null hypothesis is rejected or alternate hypothesis is accepted. Bataiye. Now tell me. When we want to say null hypothesis is rejected, we don't say in research area, we don't say null hypothesis is rejected. We say we fail to accept the null hypothesis. Are you getting or not? We fail to accept. Accept in the sense we fail to accept means we rejecting it indirectly. Okay. So therefore, this sentence should be written that is a fail to accept the null hypothesis. And when we accept the alternative hypothesis, we don't say alternative hypothesis is accepted. We say fail to reject the alternative hypothesis. Fail to reject means accepting it. Are you getting or not? So this is the way to put our, say, what we can say, interpreting results and all those things. Tomorrow you have an interpretation of the data. I am not going to say much more about it. Therefore, this stage helps in understanding the implication of the findings. Okay. And last stage is about the process of research methodology, is the reporting and evaluating or evaluation. Now, reporting means what? The final stage, which involves the compiling the research finding into structured report and evaluating the research process, including the methodology applied and its effectiveness. Now, what happens many a time? We collect data which is not required, which is not as per our hypothesis, which is not as per our objective. Many a time, people collect data. I'm giving one simple example. When I was the chairperson of the Viva, external Viva of a research scholar, that scholar collected data which was not in the her or his objectives, neither in objective nor in hypothesis. So entire 200, something like 200 data, which was nothing but useless, wastage of time, wastage of money, and wastage of all efforts that researchers put in. So therefore, data collection is also important, and that collection should be as per our hypothesis, as per our objectives. Okay. Now, here when we, next point is related to our methodology, that factors, which factors to be considered while selecting the research methodology. Again, as I told you, that depends on your nothing but research to research. That decision you will have to take with the help of your guide, with the help of your research senior. Okay. Generally, these are factors which are considered while the selecting the research methodology. First is what is your research objective? If you know the clearly your goal, your objective, okay, of your research, that is important. First factor you should consider, what is my research objectives? And accordingly, I should select the research methodology. Okay. That includes here nothing but various kinds of qualitative, quantitative, testing hypothesis, etc. And therefore, you will have to select accordingly as per your nothing but research objective. Then second point is when you select the research methodology, second point is important, that is the nature of study. Understanding whether the study is exploratory, descriptive, or explanation type. So therefore, you have to decide the research methodology accordingly on the basis of nature of study. Okay. Third important point, when we say, I want to study XYZ, okay. So what kind of resources available? Resources of all, financial resources, time available, okay, and nothing but books or data or say research paper, because I'm very much uh, uh, say nothing but uh, some research scholars who prepared their topic. They thought this topic is very good, excellent topic. But when it comes to the collection of data, when it comes to the collection of research papers or say the reports, they did not find enough research material, enough research data, enough research articles. So therefore, resources available at disposable, maybe of your budget. Okay, therefore we mentioned here, consider your budget constraint. Okay, available tools, okay, and the methodology which you are going to select, that depends on it. Okay, so therefore third point is nothing but resource available which is required to be considered for the research methodology. Next is, and that is very much important, population size characteristics. Okay, population means of your research population. We are not talking about the economics population. We are not talking about the India's population. We are talking, when population say, we utter this word, population means restricted to our research. Okay. For example, as I told you, unemployment in Thane district. So Thane district is restricted, and population which are of that Thane district, unemployed population in the Thane district. So I'm not going to take 100% of unemployed in the Thane district, but this is my population of the Thane district. So therefore, population and their characteristics is also important that you will have to consider while selecting the research methodology. And most important is time available. If you know your time at disposal, then you can prepare accordingly. If time is available 1 year and you prepare your research methodology for 3 years, it is nothing but wastage of your 2 years. If time is a considerable available, say as a 3 years, generally PhD should be done within 3 and 3.5 years. Okay, you will have that enough time. Prepare it properly. Prepare your schedule, and you should start with the nothing but micro planning. So time and availability of it, it's nothing but scheduling is also important. Okay, therefore, if ample time is available, researcher can undertake more in-depth, in detail, and time-consuming methods. Okay, but that depends again your research area, research problem. Everything is decided and depending on your research problem. Though these are the some important factors which generally, I'm saying generally, that decide the selection of research methodology. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I hope these points are very clear to you. I will move another point, that is the data collection. If you have any question, please let me know so we can complete those questions. Yes. Any question related to research methodology? Please let me know. Okay. No question because I'm not looking at the messages. My messages is not visible to me. Therefore, if you have any query, question, please speak out immediately. Okay. I consider there is no question. I will move with your permission. Now, second point which is given to me is nothing but data collection. I brought these three important aspects of data collection, that is the definition, and it's a nothing but again is a systematic process of gathering information. Data collection means nothing but the gathering information from various sources. Various sources which we are going to see. Okay, primary and secondary source. Okay, and for what purpose? To answer our research question. Whatever research questions we selected, we have to answer those questions which we mentioned in the either in objective or in our hypothesis. So therefore, hypothesis testing is important. Okay, and we also evaluate the outcomes. Okay, so in short, data collection is the process of gathering and measuring information on variables of interest in structured manner. Okay, so data collection method play a vital role in the integrity and relevance of research. Now, before collecting data, you should answer some questions very clear. What is the goal of or purpose of your research? Okay, whatever research project, research paper, or thesis which you are going to prepare, immediately you should know what is the goal of my research, what is the goal of my research project. Okay, whatever paper you are going to write to any XYZ journal, okay, or any conference or any workshop. Naturally, they have their own themes, sub-themes. Okay, we can call it as a subtopics. Actually, what is your goal? If theme is IKS, Indian Knowledge System, and you are writing on AI, that will not suffice your purpose. Or if you are clubbing that IKS and AI, how AI is useful in the Indian knowledge system, or how Indian knowledge system used to that old in system that AI. If you are clubbing these two aspects, And accordingly, if you start the collection of data, that is nothing but our main purpose. Therefore, you will have to answer this first question. What is the goal of this research paper? What is the purpose of this research paper or research topic or research, say, projects? Then, second question you will have to answer, that is, what kinds of data are you planning on gathering or collecting? Planning is also important. Okay, tomorrow I will visit, day after tomorrow I will visit. No, you will have to prepare a proper planning schedule. If you planning that 1000 sample size, okay, and you decided tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I'm going to collect data, that will not suffice our purpose. So therefore, you should have the planning. Tomorrow I'm going to collect 20 samples. Day after tomorrow, 50 samples. Day after tomorrow and next day, 500, 50, 50, 50 per day. That through which you can plan your nothing but gathering, collecting that data. So therefore, second question is also important. What kinds of data are you planning on gathering? Okay, this is a sub aspect of this. But kind of data in the sense, what type of data you require for your research. If your research required that, as I told you, unemployed in the Thane district, you require unemployed data. If you collect data on the, say, consumer preference, the consumer preference data is different than the unemployed people. So both purpose are different. So therefore, kind of data is important. What kind of data are you planning on collecting or gathering? That is important. At the same time, what methods and procedures will be used to collect, store, and process the information. Now here this involves nothing but primary, secondary. Okay, in primary, we have we are going to see one by one. Primary, are you going to directly contact the respondent, okay, or survey method? Google से direct लेना है, क्या करना है? That is also important. And therefore, you will have to decide what methods and procedure will be utilized to collect, store, and process the information. Okay. So therefore, we mention accordingly after answering these three questions, you have another, that is the types of data. Okay, primary data and secondary data. As I told you, primary means data which is collected first hand. You as a researcher collect the data, not somebody else who collected data, which is used, which is called as a secondary data. For example, your friend, you are collecting data on the, say, unemployed people in the Thane district. Okay, already your friend collected some data. So that data will not be a primary data. That will be a secondary data. Okay, so secondary data that has already been collected by others. Others, that includes everything. That includes institution, government, companies, and whatnot. That we are going to see one by one. So data collection methods which we mentioned, the first is the primary data. Here are some commonly used in while collecting the primary data. First is a survey. First, see, numbering is not important. Number may be up and down. Survey may be first, interview may be afterward. Survey, focus group will be first. So serial is not important. Important is what? These are the important aspects which are used while collecting the primary data. One of them is the surveys, through which we can collect various, have the survey which you can prepare through the questions and questionnaires. Questionnaire of two types, closed-ended and open-ended. Now, what is the mean by close-ended and what is the mean by open-ended? Close-ended in the sense the specific answer which you required, that is already given in that. For example, income group. So you can write down income group below 10,000. Okay, first, second 10,000 to 20,000, third, 20,000 to 50,000, third, then 50,000 to 1 lakh, fourth. Like this, you have a structured wise close-ended data. They have been given, means respondents have been given the nothing but we called option. They don't have another option. They cannot write as per their own. If their income is say as 1,50,000, so they cannot write 1,50,500. No, whatever range is given by you, they have to say. Therefore, it is called as a close-ended. Yes, no, okay, or Likert scale. Likert scale you must be knowing. That is most commonly utilized in the commercial research market. Okay, that is a Likert scale, and it is also called as a close-ended. Okay, whereas the second aspect of this primary method is the interview, one-to-one. You directly contact somebody else and collect data. Survey method, what happens many a time nowadays, people prefer Google form. They post a Google form in number of WhatsApp group and request that please fill up this form. But my point is very simple. Whatever data you collect through the Google form, is it authenticate? Will you authenticate this data? Suppose you require some data on consumer. Okay, consumer of say gold. But I'm not utilizing gold, even though I can fill up form. Okay, I can write anything. If my salary says below 50,000, I can write my salary from 1 lakh to 3 lakhs. I can write anything because it is just online or email or say nothing but Google form. So authentication of data is also here important. Whereas on the other hand, interview method, you yourself meet that particular person. You collect data, you collect information, okay, through structured and semi-structured or unstructured. Whatever that respondent say, you immediately jot down, you write down, okay. That's nothing but authenticate data, okay. Whereas after this two, focus group is also important, which is while collecting the primary data. Focus group. What is your population and sample size? Accordingly, your focus group is decided. For example, if your topic is financial literacy among the rickshaw auto drivers. So rickshaw auto drivers is nothing but your focus group. So you should collect data from only rickshaw auto drivers, not from other people. If you collect data from other people, that will not here suffice our objective. So therefore, focus groups is also important. Focus groups varies from person to person, research to research. Okay. So focus group may be of, as per your research, maybe of say senior citizen, teachers, school children, college children, okay, or say nothing but employee, employer, okay, depending on your research. The focus group is varies from person to person or research to research. You can have a focus group on say consumer, okay, consumers of the electric appliances user, consumers which are using only some different articles, commodity, that varies from the research to research. Next point about the primary collection data is the observation. Sitting somewhere and just observing what is going on and writing down those your conclusion is nothing but observation. So researcher can gather all information by directly observing subjects. Subject in the sense your research data. Okay. In a natural environment. Natural environment, as I told you, if suppose you want to know the say consumers or commuters from Thane to Mumbai or from Kalyan to Mumbai CST. So somewhere you will have to observe. So you can sit at say Kalyan station at platform number 1 and you just observe it. Okay. So who uses the first class compartment? Who uses the second class compartment? Who uses the women compartment? If anybody encroaches that compartment, what is the percentage? Okay. What kind of measure government is taking against them? These are just observations. Okay. I'm observing one thing on this railway platform. Now, in many railway platform, escalators have been installed. Okay. Now, what happens due to this excessive use of escalator? So many times these escalators shut down, close down, stop. So I'm going to find out how many times in a month that particular stations, that particular platform escalator stops. This is my just observation. I take photographs and keep it with me. This is my just observation. Okay. Then next point is about the data collection. These are the 1, 2, 3, 4 points of the primary data collections. Now, when we talk about secondary data collection, which is everybody knows very well, that is a data reports which already published. Okay, published maybe online, offline, government institution or non-government institution, NGOs, okay, or publicly available data or data which is already past published. Okay, all are called as a secondary data. Many a time economics in which past data is widely used. For example, GDP, GNP, per capita income from last 10 years, 15 years, okay, or saving or banking, everything, all data which are available with the RBI, government reports, okay, all are secondary data which we can utilize widely. Even population, census data is also called as a secondary data, though it is collected by uh, contacting one-to-one. But for census, it is the primary. For us, it is the secondary. Okay. Now, when we talk about the data, the process is also involved in the data collection. First, you should know basic, that is your question and your objective. Once you identify your data questions and objective, you can easily collect the data. What you want to learn, you should know it. I just want to find out the unemployed in the Thane district or consumer preference in the Mumbai metropolitan areas, or say nothing but saving habits of nothing but working women, okay, or financial, say the decision of working women. I have to understand the question and my objectives. Okay. Then select the appropriate methodology while collecting the data. Design the data collection instruments. Develop questionnaire, interview, or other tools which you are going to utilize. Then pilot test is also important. Many a time, many people who prefer pilot test, pilot project. I also prefer it, and I always give suggestion to my research scholar. At least you should have some pilot project, pilot test. Pilot test for me is not nothing but it just a kind of nothing but testing your whether your objectives or hypotheses are correct or not. For example, my research scholar, she is studying on the say weekly market. So she contacted some vendors who currently are in the weekly market, 5, 10, okay, weekly market vendors. She gathered certain information and she came to know these are our issues. So accordingly, she prepared the questionnaire. That is called as a test. And it is nothing but it is called as a pilot project, pilot test. Okay. You can put into the research paper or you can have 1 or 2 page pilot test, no issue. Depending on your research. That is important. That is what your research objective, research question. And therefore, accordingly, you will have to collect data. Okay. Then select and organize the data. And last is what? Analyze the data. Use the statistical or other techniques which are utilized by number of research scholars. Nowadays, software is also utilized, but before that, you should know the nothing but how to utilize that particular statistics. For example, regression, chi-square test. If you know the basic, how regression analysis is being done, how regression, say as findings are being interpreted, then only you are able to or you can go for the software just like SPSS R software because entire my thesis I completed in the R software. R software. R software is nothing but command based R software. Okay. Now most important question is the data collection side. सर कौन से साइज कितना साइज लेना चाहिए डेटा हमें the here there is no if you look at the last line which I mentioned last paragraph there is no one size fits all answer to the question of data collection size. There is no fixed answer. But generally what happens, depending on your purpose of research and your hypothesis, they commonly 100 to 400 data size is the preferred. Depending on your research purpose, research objective and hypothesis. Okay, but maximally, and it is said that 10% of your nothing but population, you should select that particular data size, for which you will have to contact your research guide, okay, or research supervisor you will have to contact for the exact nothing but data size. Are you getting? Hello? Yes, somebody wants to ask. किसी को कुछ पूछना है क्या बोलिए हेलो yes now after answering this simple small question next point is very much relevant to us that is the challenges which we face while collecting data. Generally what happens many people they think my topic is very good very nice okay excellent topic and they start collecting without any guidance from senior, without any guidance from the PhD's guide. Okay. What happens? Many a time these issues they face. Any issue, 1 or 2 issue they face. For example, many a time their data is incomplete. Data is inaccurate, inconsistent, duplicate data, outdated data. And because of that, you face the cost and time issue. What happens? Many a time, incomplete data means what? Values are missing, format is missing, data points are missing, So therefore, accuracy of this analysis is having big question. Now, because of this incomplete data, inaccuracy, when you come into the conclusion XYZ, that conclusion is based on your incomplete data. So therefore, because of this incomplete data, accuracy also have some big questions. So therefore, because of this error in data, data entry, respondent misreporting, flawed measurement methods can lead to incorrect conclusion. And because of that, inconsistent data, variations in data format or units or measurement will have some difficulty. What happens now? If you take income in rupees, okay, and rupees in which 1,000, lakhs or crores, that you will have to consider measuring unit. If you are considering about the international level, then you cannot consider Indian rupee, okay, amount in rupee, quantity in rupees. You will have to consider international currency. It is in the dollar. When you consider here comparison of two nations, say the US and UK, then naturally there should be a uh, par at par both. Either you should utilize say numbers in Indian currency both countries or in internationally say as a dollar or in pound. So therefore inconsistency of data is also big issue challenge in front of the when we collect the data. And many a time what happens, data duplication also takes place. So you will have to remove those data which are duplicate, which we collected twice, thrice. That will have to be removed very seriously. And at the same time, here some data are outdated data. Means what? If we require data for the say 2020, 2020 to 25. If we collect data 2010 to 50, it is outdated data. Okay. So data is no longer relevant or current, then it is called as nothing but outdated data. And it leads to misleading that conclusion. It is nothing but inaccurate at our findings. Okay. And that nothing but cost us more. See, when you collect data, your time, your money, that is nothing but cost and time. While collecting the high quality data is much more expensive. So therefore, you will have to think this important aspect while collecting the data. These are the challenges we say. In short, the understanding and mastering research methodology is essential for everyone involved in the research. It ensures the integrity and credibility of the research conducted and enhances the impact and relevance of the findings. I hope I try to answer those hidden questions which are inside you. If you have any question, you can ask me. I kept this 30 minutes for you only for discussion. Yes.
So I have a question.
Yes, please.
Which data is considered better, primary data or secondary data?
Which data?
Is considered better in the analysis, primary data or secondary data?
Now, depending on your research problem. If your research problem, can you tell me what is your research question point?
My research area is myopia.
Huh?
Myopia.
Bio?
Myopia.
Okay. Can you write in?
It's about short-sightedness.
Okay. Okay. Then we will have to think because many a time what happens, no, Your research is of having both aspects. That is a mixed research. You will have to think. Yes.
Okay.
Mixed method will have to be utilized for that.
Okay, sir.
Can
Thank
you
you.
ask, can you briefly give me information about your research? I would be very better to understand and explain you.
Okay, so not on this platform. I will message to you personally in this window.
Personally, are you going to message me? Okay.
In this window only, I will send it as a personal message.
Okay, chalega, ठीक है. Yes, any question? Somebody asked me that, sir, is it necessary to have a pilot study in our research study? Pilot study in our research study? No, it is not compulsory, but it is advisable if your project, your research paper, if you have enough time for enough time, mainly which is in the thesis. So you can have this pilot project, no issue. But you are writing research paper for some journal, which requires 1 month. So you don't have that enough time. So immediately you start without, don't spend time on the pilot study. Pilot study does not mean that you should have in everything in black and white. Pilot study means what? Generally kind of our sampling. Sampling, sample means what? So sampling, just visit that particular area, find out through your observation, interview, okay, just find out what is going on over there and what is your research area problem, okay? Yes, any question? You can write in chat box. I opened just now.
Hello.
Huh.
Sir,
Yes.
which kind of methodology is preferred for the media-related studies? Because mostly we prefer the secondary kind of methodologies like content analysis, right? So how reliable is secondary data, especially when we talk about the content analysis with reference to media study?
It is related to media study. Can you repeat your question? What I understood is totally different. See, it is the
Okay.
content.
Yes,
Okay.
sir, because
But what
when
you
we
want
talk
to
about
analyze?
content analysis or
See,
content
content analysis
study,
is
so
different thing, madam.
yes.
Content analysis is different thing. But what exactly you want to analyze from that content? Whether it is useful for the society or not. What is your objective? Hypothesis. Content analysis is a different thing. It is very vague. Okay. For example, serial. Okay. When we talk about the media, social media, what is going on? Pulwama mein abhi ho gaya. So somebody writes anything. Are you going to analyze that or what? Or somebody mentioned in the newspaper, news media that you are going to analyze. What do you mean by that content analysis? That should be well defined first. Unless and until that is well defined, you cannot have that research methodology.
Yes, sir. So
Mentioned here
basically,
news
suppose
media.
I want to study about the social media's influence. So I am analyzing all the comments based on the different criteria that they have provided. So specifically analyzing the news headlines or the content or the words specifically.
Madam, I think there is a small confusion. When you talk about the social media analysis, at the same time, you are talking about news headlines. These are two separate. Okay. Social media consisting of different aspects. Whereas the news headlines is totally different. Okay. What you want to analyze that news headlines which appeared in the social media and their analysis. Am I right or wrong? What you want to analyze that news headlines which are printed in newspaper, print media, and or that news appeared in the TV channel. Those news you want to see, that analyze,
Yes,
or
sir.
whatever thing is actually bombarded through the social media is going to be analyzed. What exactly is your research problem? Research say as nothing but analyze you want to do. First, you should have very clear objective, very clear topic. If you have some confusion, naturally you are going to confuse yourself. And while collecting data, you are going to collect wrong information and data. Okay. News headlines. Are you going to collect news headlines through the TV channels or of the print media? Lok Satta, Maharashtra Times, Indian Express, Financial Times. Those news headlines you are going to analyze. Print media, correct. Print media in the sense those are in print. Yes. Anna. So you will have to first prepare that proper research topic. And only, yes, correct, newspaper only. And then only you will have to understand data from where you are going to. So you cannot collect data from the social media. You will have to have those printed newspaper, and you will have to select the days time period from where to where you are going to analyze the news headlines from say last year, from say January 2024 to December 2024. So all those 12 years or Hindi or other language. Then only you see you will have to narrow down your research topic. It is very vague. When we say newspaper headlines, means it comes headlines of the Times of India, it comes headlines of the Indian Express, it comes headlines of the Maharashtra Times, it comes the headlines of the Navakal, Junakal, Sakal, Dupar, Sandhyakal, everything. So what you want to here analyze, that should be very clearly mentioned. Okay. If it is a print media, then English print media, Marathi print media, or other language print media. Okay. Once you decided that print media from the Marathi print media, then time period, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years. Because when print media, you say daily newspapers, na, they print daily. So 365 of Lok Satta, you should have that copy. 365 copies of the Maharashtra Times, 365 copies of the Navakal, 365 copies of the Sakal, 365 copies of the Lokmat. That much data you will have to first gather, and year-wise, month-wise or daily you will have to analyze. We analyze. While doing this analyze, you should analyze whether this news is of the economy, political, educational, non-educational, or social, that you will have to bifurcate. Just only collecting news headlines, where you are going to categorize all those news. Just say, for example, today's news was very different. Today's news was mentioned that nothing but कहाँ पे हल्ला हुआ अभी? Do you know? मराठीमध्ये महाराष्ट्र टाइम्स वर आले दहशतवाद्यांचा पर्यटकांवर हल्ला महाराष्ट्र टाइम्स मध्ये. Where this news headlines you are going to fit? Are you going to fit into the political? Are you going to fit into the say regional? Are you going to fit into the say economy? Where? That you will have to define properly. Therefore, guidance of your research for yes. I hope I answered the question. Yes, any question, any query, I'm very much happy to answer. See, research methodology is everywhere available, don't worry. But you should not have any single small query in, okay? Whatever query you have, please ask me. I'm going to answer all those queries. Yes, thank you, Jagrati madam.
Thank you, sir, for such an enlightening sessions. Your insights have been immensely valuable and no doubtly you have guided and inspired all of us. So now I would like to request my colleague, Assistant Professor Saira Banu Sheikh, to deliver a formal vote of thanks.
Yes, thank you, madam. I'm audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my privilege and honor to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of Achievers College of Commerce and Management. First of all, I would like to thank our guest speaker, Dr. Deepak Sable sir, for taking the time to be with us today and delivering such an informative and engaging lecture on research methodology and data collection. Your insights were truly helpful, especially for those who are starting our research journey. You explained complex ideas in a simple and a clear way, which made the session very useful and easy to understand. Thank you once again, sir, for your valuable time and knowledge. I would like to thank our principal, Dr. C.A. Mahesh Bhevandigar, sir, for guiding us. A sincere thanks to our vice principal, Miss Sana Khan, madam, and Miss Sophia D'Souza, madam, for gracing us with their presence for the inspiring address. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our organizing team and supporting staff who made this event a grand success. Last but not the least, a big thank you to our audience and participants for their presence. Thank you so much, everyone. I request everyone to switch on the camera for the group photo.
Yes, it's done. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, everyone. Thank you once again. May I leave this?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Thank you.